G'day guys, I love answering your questions in the comments, but I find it's a bit limited to what I can explain. So I thought I'd do this video of 15 common Etsy print-on-demand questions, and if you've got more questions, please leave them down below because I'll do another one of these. I wish there was a video like this when I started where, you know, just some of the common issues you come up with, and this is how I handle them. Of course, this is how I handle them. You do what's right for your business. All right, guys, the first question was a question that I was asked the most, so I'm answering it first straight up. So the question is, and I'm going to totally summarize here, that how do you do multiple products in the one listing, like for instance, sweatshirts and shirts, or some people do sweatshirts and hoodies, or some people do baby onesies or bodysuits, toddler tops, youth, adult tops, and then the same for like sweatshirt. And so different options like that. You know, that's great for mummy and me tops and, you know, the matching family Christmas pajamas. So what I do and the step-by-steps is I start in Etsy and I create the size versions I want. So for instance, here's what I've done. So you go into edit variations and then I created my own. I've got my own there size, and then I just type it in. So you type in every option, unisex, adult, extra small. But don't worry guys, you just got to do this once. Then you've got it for however many family listings you want to do. It's all done for you. So it's not too bad. So prices vary for each size, quantities vary for each size. I tick that, and then the SKUs vary for each size. Now, so as you can see here, I haven't done the SKUs. I've got the maximum quantity that you can use and then got the prices. So that's what I do in Etsy, and then you add your size charts in Etsy and then buy a mock-up on Etsy with whatever you're doing. So if it's a mummy and me top, buy that one and then put your design on. And then wait until it sells. An order comes in, if you go to your other orders. So in Printify, if you look at Printify orders and other orders, if you click on that, you might see some in there. So I have quite a few in there and they're not synced. I do some personalized mugs, and so they come to the other orders. I also have a couple that are synced with Printful, so they'll come in the other orders. I don't import them and create the order because they're being done in Printful. And if you can't find an order for some reason, but it's on Etsy, go and check your other orders. One time I copied and pasted a sweatshirt and I obviously deleted the wrong one because they kept showing up in here. So then I just had to change the SKUs on it. Once an order comes in, go look in your other orders, you find it, you can just match the name, click on it, and then you can just select the product. Now I'm all about time, so I wouldn't actually create all those other options until someone buys it. And then, you know, of course people will start buying the Bella canvas, so you could do that quite easily. It's just important with time management to not spend too much time on it. You just want to see if it sells. And then my last point I've written is absolutely you could put the SKUs in here. If you were doing great sales and it was really going viral, then absolutely it'd be worth doing it. But if you're only going to get a couple of sales from it, then it's really easy to add your product in. I often edit the orders anyway if I'm like, oh, that's cheaper at Monster Digital. Especially with the Sports Grey at the moment, that is the same price as the Ash on SwiftPod. So I've been transferring those ones across to Monster Digital. Okay, the next question is, oh, here we go, the Ash sweatshirts. I'm confused with pricing regarding Ash. It's priced differently. I do individual prices for different sweatshirts. So I actually tend to do white a little bit cheaper because when Etsy shows your listing, it shows the cheapest options. So they look at it and think, oh, great. And it's just white that's, you know, $2 cheaper. I have different prices for different colored sweatshirts. The next question is, how many designs do I put in a particular niche? And this is particularly relating to when I first started. In the first month, I did 200 listings and they were not in the same niche. I just wanted to test the waters. I wanted to see what buyers wanted. I wanted to see what niches were selling. So I tried heaps of different niches. I did a lot of kind of workout tops, which didn't sell a lot of them. And then I started to really kind of see that the occupations was where there was good, consistent money. I did 200 listings of very kind of basic designs. Okay, so this question, it relates to, do I sell items in Australia? Or just to the US. So I sell to Australia, Canada, and the US. I turned off Canada just before Christmas because some of the shirts just went missing. And then I spoke to Printify about it. I wouldn't do anything for a long time. It was like well over a month. So I turned off Canada. I did turn it back on again recently because I had a special request from a Canadian. My main focus is definitely the US market. At the moment, shipping from SwiftPod is like, it's gone up to $15 US. It used to be $10 US. So I just put that there. I just charge that. And if people are happy to buy it, they can. But the majority of my buyers are definitely the US. So that is where I focus. Alrighty, the next question. This is from Paul. Won't Etsy identify messages sent to buyers as spam? Or can the buyers themselves complain about such messages from the seller? And do you message every customer who receives an item? I was just thinking it would take a lot of time. I'm just paraphrasing there. Okay, so in answer to your question, if in doubt, guys, there's the Etsy Seller Handbook. And I have actually had a few questions about this recently. So I thought, do you know what? Let's go straight to the horse's mouth. So Etsy Seller Handbook, messaging buyers, do's and don'ts for communicating with customers. Okay, do. Thank the customer for their purchase. So that's a do. So that for me is automatically set up. The next one is after the item is dispatched. So Printify automatically does that. They say it's on its way. They send them the tracking. They send them the tracking when it's pre-transit too. So as soon as they've created that shipping label, they'll get some tracking. The next point is to answer messages in a timely manner, which is fine. Okay, and so the last point is to solicit feedback and respond after feedback is received. So for me, that says I can leave them a message when it arrives and say, hey, I hope your item turned up great. We're a new shop. We'd love it if you could leave a review, and we'd be super grateful if you did a photo. So for me, that's Etsy saying that I can do that. And then it says it's also good to send a friendly thank you after you receive feedback. So if they give us a 5-star, then we give them 20% discount and say, wow, what an awesome photo. So that's what we do, and Etsy considers that good communication with your customers. So what about don't communicate? When you're angry? Well, fair enough. So sometimes in regards to that, you have customers that are just being annoying, and we call it in the health field giving them a therapeutic wait. So I don't always respond straight away. I might be in a bit of a conversation back and forth, and if they're just going nowhere, I just walk away and I'll just reply to them a couple of hours later. Sending too many messages. So something I do not do is I don't send them messages to say, hey, I've got a new teacher's shirt. You might like this. You bought one last time. No, I don't do that. For me, the communication I have with the buyer is all about their order. And then to demand feedback. Take care when asking for feedback. Remember that leaving feedback is optional. If you do ask for feedback, be friendly and polite. Yeah, super friendly. We're super polite. There's probably some emojis in there as well. Alrighty guys, so this next question's asking me about the VAT Seller Fees and this, that and the other. We do not sell to Europe. So much so I accidentally had one of the Printful mugs attached, and it still had all the countries it could go to. And once I saw it had gone to Germany, I just cancelled it. I have not looked into that. I have not researched it, so I cannot give you an answer. Yeah. Next question is, have you always charged for shipping? And no, when we first started out, we did free shipping. But I wanted to show you because this was the changer for me when I was looking at the teacher shirts. So $10, $10, 23, that's free shipping. 14, that's not free shipping. 17, 17, 23, 11.40. So in the top 2 rows of 3rd grade teacher shirts, there's only one that's free delivery. So this one is $23.35 free delivery, but you know, they could be under $20 with $4 shipping if they wanted to. So that was when I made the change for shirts. So we charge $4. Right, if we connect Printify and an Etsy store, how about the mock-up? Do you follow the mock-ups from Printify? Can you add your own? And questions regarding the price settings and product descriptions. Okay, so I did this video on Etsy mock-ups. It is essential that your first photo is a great photo, and I particularly like model mock-ups as the first one. What I do in Etsy, so the majority I do in Printify, and then I push it across so it publishes. I change about the listing, so I say that it's made by another company, and then it's made to order, and then it shows up as this item is handmade with production assistance. I tick the production partner that I've used, so I have it like a print shop, and then I copy and paste the title and put it in the tags. And that's what I do in Etsy. And of course, I've added in my mock-ups and my size charts. Okay, the next question's from Eternity. Have you noticed Monster Dig now scales and Swift POD no longer scales? How do you make sure all your small shirts are getting 15-inch designs, etc.? I manually adjust each customer order. Some days I have 20 orders, so it can take a good chunk of time, but I want each shirt to have the exact size that is appropriate. The last thing I want is a Word design that is 15 inches too big. Oh, congratulations, 20 orders a day is awesome. So what Eternity is referring to, on the 14th of Jan, Printify sent out this email that basically talked about what had changed. So it talked about the extra small, small, medium and large remaining the same. They have the same print area for a large to a 5 extra large. So I hadn't really noticed anything. I hadn't had any complaints. It was just when Eternity mentioned it that I thought, do you know what, I'll look into it a bit more with Printify. So I sent them an email and said, what do you mean by this? And they sent me a whole nother email that explained that, as you can see on the product generator, so when you're doing it in Printify, it shows as a large shirt. And what it is going to do is it's going to make it smaller for medium and small. So I actually think this is awesome. So you set it up as if it's for the large, and then for the medium and the small, it's going to get smaller. And they sent me, so for a large, it'd be that big, and then it gets smaller. And now I don't worry as much about the width. I used to talk about the 11.8. Now what I do is I look at the large shirt and look at how it's sitting and where I want it to sit on them. So if it was a shirt on me, where I'd want it to be. And that's how I do it. And the lady said, you don't need to change anything with your design. If you need help with anything else, just let us know. So that's been great. I had no problems, and I think it's actually working so much better because last year from Monster Digital, I bought a medium and I bought a small. So the small is nice and fitted, but they didn't make the design smaller. So the design goes all the way around my armpits. Like, it is not nice at all. So I actually think this is great. It means on a small, it shouldn't go around to their armpits because it's just getting smaller each time. The next question is shirts. What colors are best sellers? So this is based on January. White, ash, sports grey, white and black. So very neutral colours, they're the most popular for me. Paul has asked, I'd be interested to hear the results of your experiment without using the US free shipping guarantee. So Paul, I have never used the spend $35 US and you get free shipping. I've either done completely free shipping for that item or I make them pay. And then part 2 of that is, what do customers prefer, the multiple items to get a discount or just with free shipping on one item? I'll tell you what I prefer, Paul. I prefer when they buy multiple items. If they buy 2 shirts instead of 1, I charge them $8 for shipping and it only costs me $6. So I make an extra $2 there. So if you can get group buys, that's why it's great to be in niches where they want to buy multiple shirts. You know, so the teachers, they buy for the whole year level. Bachelorette parties, girl trips, they all want to wear the same shirt, you know, family cruise shirt. So you actually make more because you're saving money on the shipping. Okay, Bonnie, did you notice an increase in sales after uploading about 5 listings a day? I want to do this myself, but it's a lot of time and effort if it doesn't really boost sales. Bonnie, I can tell you, yesterday a lady bought 3 of my new shirts that I just put up last month, and a notebook. And they were cheap, so they were priced to sell, but yeah, it's actually really starting to sell, and I am stoked because gee, I worked hard in February, and absolutely it's boosting my sales. Would you recommend to sell the black Gildan 18,000? Yes, I definitely would, and this is my favorite mock-up. So moonlit mock-up. Now you can probably see this is like got a pumpkin there and that says pumpkin patch. Don't worry about that, you can just cut this. This is a fantastic mock-up. Love it. Okay, next question. I can't set up the pricing of my products properly. I wonder, what is your profit margin on t-shirts, excluding shipping and including Etsy fees? Okay, so the one I use, and I'll link it down below, and if I haven't, just remind me, is Omni Profit. Okay, so before I explain this, please know that I run a 15% discount. So the items that I'm sharing here is with the 15% discount on. So this is what the customer sees. So the customer sees, oh, t-shirt, $16.99, shipping $4. I use Monster Digital, which is $8.57, and they charge me $4. Then I choose that payment method. The revenue is $20 US, they're the fees. The cost of the actual goods is $14.70, so my profit is $6.29. So profit margin is 29.97%. So that's where I start. And then once it's got some sales, I increase the price. I'd have it at $24.99 with the 15% discount. They would see $21.99, shipping's $4. That's all the same, guys. So revenue is $25.99. They're the fees, and the profit is $10.89. So that's how I do it. But I have been leaving it down this end a little bit longer because I want to be on that front page and I don't want to pay ads to be there. Alrighty guys, I hope that answered all your questions. This was a bit of a long video. Put more down below and I'll do another video like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.